Today on Dating Disasters, we pick up on part 2 of our story about a marriage for citizenship nightmare. To recap, Kay met a man on a dating app that quickly wanted to marry her, saying he needed immigration help and told her he wanted her pregnant. Yeah, it's wild. Let's get into it.
And I don't know what this man did, but I felt that he started tampering with my food in a way that I can't explain. Because right when I was about to pay for everything for a daycare, I started getting sick. It's like I lost control of my body and my heart wasn't acting right. No one else in the house was affected. My kids weren't affected. My kids weren't affected. He wasn't affected, but my heart started giving out. It was like the beat kept going up and down and up and down. And I was in the emergency room every single day and I'm freaking out like, what is happening to me? And I suddenly became too afraid to eat in my own home. I don't know what he was doing, but it was just weird. And he suddenly became cold and he started saying, your kids are not my kids. I'm not here to provide for them. And I'm sitting here freaking out thinking I'm going to die. And this man is telling me my kids are not his kids. He's not responsible. And he's still pressuring me to get pregnant. And I didn't know who to talk to. I was scared, thinking that I was going to die in this situation. And he had the men from his religious community, some of them were doctors, they came to sedate me. I don't know what this doctor put in my hip, but I was driven to a hospital and I was given this injection to calm me down. And then the women that were in the religious community found out what was happening, and one of the ladies gave me her keys and she let me go stay at her place whenever I needed to get away. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And my heart is still messing up. I'm still freaking about eating. I'm having to hide my food. He was doing something. I don't know if it was something from his country he was putting in my food. I don't know what was happening. But it was the most surreal experience I've ever had. And this man kept trying to get me pregnant. And promising, no, I'm going to take care of you, but these kids aren't mine. You're going to carry my baby. I'm like, the hell? Yeah, it turned into that level of weirdness in my dating situation. And I ended up getting pregnant. I know it sounds weird. But this man, I felt cornered in a situation I couldn't get out of. And 3 months into this pregnancy, I became very ill. The baby started changing inside of me. And he didn't want to take me to the hospital. This man truly wanted me to die. I eventually went to the doctor because he didn't want to take me, and I found a way to get there on my own. And I was immediately admitted, and I was induced into labor. The child had died, and this man was nowhere to be seen. I was at the hospital by myself. After I came home, I made the decision to run away. And I went to go stay at a homeless shelter. And in the midst of this process, I did have a cat. And I couldn't take my cat with me. This man threatened to hurt my cat. And that was the only reason I went back into that situation. I know it doesn't make any sense why I would go back, but I did. I thought I could find another way out. So I went back. My heart kept messing up. And he kept pressuring me to get pregnant. He kept pressuring me about his immigration issues. And he later told me that he was leaving the country for 30 days to go visit his family. Before he left, he told everyone in his religious community to not talk to me. He told them I was crazy. And eventually the lady that was helping me stopped helping me. And he had me taken to the airport before he was going back home to his country. And he refused to buy food, which left me no money to even pay for daycare or pay for a way to get out. And we had a fight in the airport. And I told him I was done. And as soon as his plane took off, I went back home. I started packing up everything and went going through the papers, and that's when I found a life insurance policy. And I also found a money order for rent. He assumed I would pay the rent. He assumed I was going to stay. He assumed I was weak enough that I wasn't going to go anywhere. But I took that money order for the rent, and I took it to the grocery store, and I went and talked to the clerk. And I signed my name on top of his name, and she went in and cashed it. And it was enough money to leave. And I left. I drove as far away as I could. I drove back to the state that I came from, and I immediately started making phone calls for homeless shelters. And I reached the YWMCA Battered Women's Shelter in Topeka, Kansas. And I explained to them the situation that I had been through, and they let me know that I was a victim of domestic abuse. And they had a place for me to stay. And they advised me to cut off all contact with this person. And they helped me get counseling. And they showed me this wheel of domestic abuse. And after I told her what happened to me, she let me know, you were abused. This man abused you. And you were very lucky to be able to get away. So I want to say that I hope this helps you. It was a very scary situation to be in, and maybe it doesn't make sense to you now. But back then I felt so small and so weak. But I couldn't raise my kids on my own. And after that relationship, I eventually did. It took nearly a decade to heal. It took me a long time to be able to eat without having any anxiety. And I eventually was able to meet a man who truly did love me, and I took time to get to know him. But that's a situation I would never want to live through again. And even now that my daughter is 20 and my son is 23, I definitely tell them, please take time to get to know someone and find out who they truly are, so that you don't find yourself in that kind of situation.
So glad Kay found a way out. Knowing you have to leave is hard, but actually doing it takes a courage most will never know. Congrats on your newfound love, Kay. And as always, viewers, research your dates before you meet. See y'all next time. We want to thank you for following and subscribing to Dating Disasters. If you have your own story to share, we'd love to hear it. Send us a comment and we'll get back to you. Bye.